So, Vandana, can you throw some light about social media handling and how women can protect themselves when it comes to social media handling? Let's hear from the user first, and then we will also understand the same from law person.
As a cybersecurity person, I am very paranoid about my security. So what I do is, the first thing when I created my Facebook account, I made sure that I'm not posting anything public till the time it's so much necessary. Because posting public means it can be accessed by anyone and everyone. So what we can do is, we can actually make sure that we have security settings managed. And I know that there are some people say that, why should I manage my security setting? People have to take care. Obviously, there are laws, there are people who are protecting us, but then there's a safety that starts from home. So we can protect our own accounts. We can make sure that if we are posting something on Facebook, and in Facebook we have some friends who are not very close to us, so we have groups prepared for them. I have acquaintances group, special group, I have family group. So I like, if I want to share some information with a particular group, I'll only share it with them, not with anyone and everyone. And not everyone in the world can see my pictures till the time I want to show it to them. Another thing is, whatever you post online will be there for eternity. So whatever you try, some people might try and use it and abuse it. So we have to be very cautious about it. And privacy settings, understand the privacy settings of the social media handles that we are using, because it's very important. And I know that I've been part of some of the webinars by Cyber Peace Foundation, NCW, who are doing so much to educate women about that, how to protect yourself from all these crimes. Because education is one of the most important things to get started and avoiding such cases.
Yeah, education is something that's the objective of this program as well. Sanjay sir, would you like to add something towards specifically on the social media, how we can protect ourselves better?
We always talk about the punitive aspect, whether the complaints are being registered or not, whether police is able to arrest the accused or not, or whether police is able to get the conviction, or we are able to arrest the accused. I mean, that is a punitive aspect. Like, once the person is already victimized or harassed, and these are the things which has to be dealt after that. But the best part should be, we work on the preventive aspect. We ensure that we take a lot of precautions so that such incident does not happen. Just imagine a situation about 10 years back when the internet was not that prominent. It was like only a real physical world. Do you remember, right from the childhood onwards, we are flooded with a lot of precautionary measures. You do this, you do that, even crossing the road. What I mean to say is, we have learned a lot from our socialization, how to take care and keep ourselves safe in a real physical world. But when it comes to the online platform, we are somehow not socialized. We don't take all those kind of a precautionary measures. Nobody teaches us, and we also think that okay, everything will be taken care by the law. Please, when I'm telling this statement sitting in a uniform, I'm not shirking away from my responsibilities. But what I'm telling, the world is at peace not because of the police is there or because the law is there. The world is at peace because people are self-disciplined and they know what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. The best thing, what I consider, we have to be first clear about what are the risks and dangers which are existing on the virtual world. We should be aware of it, and we should take all those safety precautionary measures to keep yourself safe. Third thing is, once, despite doing all this, in case if you happen to be a victim, then you should know what are the ways and means by which you can deal with those situations. Like, what are the various platforms where you can go for remedial measures, whether it's a report abuse on a social media platform, whether it is going to the police, or consulting or talking to anybody. So once you know all the three things, I don't think so that virtual or the online world is that dangerous. We happen to be a victim at some point of the time because of our own mistake. We might have started using technology, but I'll tell you, like, for example, nobody is aware of what are the privacy settings available to us. When you buy a system, when you download an app, it is basically open. They want to gather as much information of yours as possible. You have to go for a privacy settings. You have to go for whether you really require that particular technology or that app, you really need it or not. And then you cater it, tailor make it as per your requirement. And another one problem I would like to add regarding the social stigma. If I ask you what is a today's news, you might remember. If I ask you what was headline yesterday, you might say that okay, you might remember it. But if you go 3 days back, you may not remember what was the headline, despite it is a national or international news. So people here also, the social stigma, when you undergo certain harassment, people feel that, oh, something of my has appeared bad on the social media. Now people know everything about me, and any person who's seeing at me, he might be thinking of that particular photo or that particular image. Please remove from your mind. See, people are photographic memory. People do not have, they just do not remember anything. So don't fear about that particular thing, but boldly come and lodge a complaint so that we can sort out that problem completely. What I say is that the best empowerment what you can do for the women is to give courage. She should be bold and she should be courageous enough to face anything.
Right, sir. Well said, sir. Just as you pointed out, I think maybe you said mostly about the safety aspect. Like we talk about the preventive side, and we have been trained as every girl child when she is born, every society around her, starting from the mother, says you have to be safe, you have to take care, you should not look at this person. All kinds of instructions are given. But then the reality is that, imagine if you are going on a road, you will not definitely you will not dare to go in the road in the midnight, alone as a girl. At least in India, we are not that much confident yet. However, the same woman may be available online, and there the kind of predators, it's millions. So that is where I think, sir, what you mentioned, the importance of online safety awareness is very critical for women.
I'll just add on to that. I don't want to give any comment which says that women should take a precaution. Not like that. But what I'm telling is, see, the society should be, whether it's an online world or it's a physical real world, it should be safe and it should be secure for each and every individual. See, if there are certain dangers, it is always good to know. Like you have posted everything on your Facebook. From the profile itself, I can easily guess what type of person you are, what are your likings, what are your dislikings. Now there was one female who was, after seeing her profile, you can easily make out that this profile belongs to a female who loves pets, who loves animals, who takes care of such animals. Now what happened, one stalker, one predator, he was continuously monitoring her. He created a fake profile of himself, showing that he's the owner of one NGO which takes care of animals, and he has posted so many articles and posts about himself. And then he sends a friend's request to this female. Obviously, I can easily judge your psychology. Immediately, that friend was not accepted by the female. Later on, they started talking, chatting around. Then this person offers her a job. She accepts it, and later on, she goes and physically meets him. In fact, this girl was sexually exploited and murdered. It's a real incident. So long as you are using chatting, that's no problem at all. But then there is a certain threshold limit. You should understand that beyond a certain point, the danger starts. I mean, so long you created a friendship with them, you chatted, that's no problem at all. But the moment the person has called you, when the person wants to meet you, then comes the real danger. Then at that time, we realize that, okay, you should be slightly conscious. Another incident I'll tell you, again, the same big website. There was one girl in a +2 students who was aspiring for a foreign education. She was looking for a scholarship. Our search engines are like all AI based. Whatever you look, the advertisement gets flooded as per your requirement. Then one fine day she gets a pop-up window that, okay, such and such organization is there which is offering you scholarship. Then she visits that website. It's a very international organization. She fills the form online. Then there is a written test. She qualifies the written test. Then there's online interview. She gives an interview also. Finally, she is offered that, okay, 80% of your scholarship will be provided by this organization. She was very happy. One fine day, she gets a mail from the director saying that the director wants to physically meet you. It's an incident of a Bombay. Then this female, without informing anybody, she goes and meets that person, where again she was sexually exploited and some video and images were taken. And later on, she realized that she has been victimized. Later on, when she tried to contact those people, she could not reach out. Then she files a complaint before the Mumbai Police Cyber Cell. And when it was investigated, it was found that there's no such organization. This is completely bogus, completely fake. Surfing a website or filling online data, giving an online written test, that's all fine. But the moment you were actually called out, then at that time we should have thought, okay, we don't know whether it's real or not. The girl should have actually verified. She should have gone to some website whether such organization exists or not. There are ways of fact checking, which was not done. See, criminals and crime will happen. I just cannot say for a guarantee that, okay, I am here, so I will finish up and wipe off all the crimes. But there are certain things where we become a victim because of certain mistakes done by ourselves. I want that People should not fall victim out of ignorance, out of unawareness, out of not having knowledge. So that's what I want to say. If you happen to be a victim, obviously law will take its course.
Well said, sir. Regarding this fake profiles, I read somewhere that there are more than 66 million Facebook fake profiles.
In fact, I'll tell you, if you see yesterday's Asianet news, there's another one, honey trap kind of a gang has come up recently. I received that complaint, and when I investigated, that person was not ready to come. As I told, it is not only that the females get blackmailed or only the females get extorted. Even the males, even the males
men also can. Correct.
Yeah. So in that case, the person used to get a friend request from a very good profile. Then the person opposite side will be talking very sweetly in a little bit of open-mindedness. Then the person switch over to the WhatsApp. Later on, they get involved into some kind of a sexting, and it leads to some video chat, and the entire screenshot is recorded. And immediately after that, the person says that, okay, I'm going to share all this video chat images on your Facebook profile, friends and all. You better give them give the money. This can happen to anybody. It can happen to even the female or the male. And they don't even give a second time. They want that money, whatever money. They are not asking huge amount, but 10,000, 20,000, 30, whatever you are capable to pay. In Kerala itself, we found that more than 50, 60 people are actually victimized, and nobody is ready to give a complaint. And then I was talking to the other central agencies. We had listed out 200 such profiles which are involved into this particular thing, and it is all concentrated in a particular place. These things will keep happening, especially in a country like India, because in India, at one side, the computer literacy, the tech savvy people, one side it is very high, and a person may be very technologically advanced. But on the other side, if you see, there is an illiterate person. That illiterate person is also using the same 5G, 4G mobile phone, iPhones, Note, whatever it may be. They are also using the ATM cards, online banking, online bookings.
I think that's right. But yeah, that's correct. Actually, it's very much obvious that when we talk about the people who know about technology, they also sometimes commit such kind of crimes. And then there are people who don't know at all, but they are using all these social media platforms and they get drawn to these attacks.